because you could see it working.
And how did you come to know anybody at Tarumo? Like, how did that connection happen? I actually don't know, so.
Through Jason's journey, we have always been really dedicated to raising awareness and advocating. And since his conditions combined were so complex and so rare, we started a Facebook page just to let people know out there's hope. There's a kid living with us. This kid is, whether he was sitting because he was in heart failure, he was still smiling. There's hope. And one of the employees at Tarumo followed him on Facebook. And he posted a video, and by the way, he does this. Like, he's the one that says, let's do a video. Let's do this. And he's the one that kind of leads that. He wanted to post a video of him saying goodbye to his fighters. And an employee at Tarumo seen that and wrote me on Facebook.
Do you remember what it was about what he said with his fighters?
Yeah, he said something about, it's hard for a 6-year-old to understand what this means, right? So we had to come up with a new scenario, like, these are fighters. You have fighters in your body to fight off that, but right now they think your heart is bad. So they're attacking your heart. And so he kind of came up with this slogan of, bye fighters, you're not allowed to come back here until you can treat that new heart right, or something along those lines. But I think quite a few people got a kick out of it.
Yeah, he's amazing. I mean, tell me about him now. I mean, how's he doing now?
Let's just say I know that we made the right decision. He's running. He has energy. He has more energy than he can control sometimes now. He's eating. It was always a battle to feed this kid. I was pumping calories in him any way I could. Caro syrup. Anything that I can get this kid to eat. And by the way, he wouldn't eat donuts. He'd want broccoli. And I'm like, really? But he's living now. I never really knew the quality of life or lack of quality of life that he had until now.
But obviously you knew he was a fighter. Tell me about that.
His spirit. He has a fighter spirit. He's the type of kid that will fight and fight and fight and fight and turn around and say, hey, this is how you do it. And teach the kid next to him how to do it.
Do we need to pause because of the plane?
Yeah.
That's all right.
I'm going to let that thing fly over and look at my notes for a second. Oh, my feet are falling asleep. Are your feet okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I keep adjusting, but... Are these the answers that you're wanting?
Yeah,
okay.
Great.
So did you know about this condition?
No.
I am right now.
Oh.
So, is that the foundation that you have?
No. So we started a foundation in 2016 to help families that are in the hospital long term. We pay, everyday living expenses, not medical bills, but mortgages, car payments, electricity bills, water bills, that kind of thing. And then we also do a Christmas event where we actually pair donors with their families and give, the donor a list. And Jason, he's the one that wraps the presents. He's the one that delivers them. He's very involved. He loves it. And then on a national level, we go and advocate on the Hill with Pediatric Congenital Heart Association, and we also support families locally through our Conquering CHD Kit stuff, through the hospital program, through the hospital. And we do social events and stuff to get the kids together. And not just the heart kids, the families, the siblings, the moms, the dads, so that they don't feel like they're alone.
I'm going to have you, because we stopped for a second, I'm going to have you tell me again about Jason's spirit.
Yeah, okay. So can you ask me the question again? Sorry.
Yeah, so we were just kind of talking about what a fighter he is.
Yeah, so Jason's spirit, I want to say, most of these kids have a great spirit. they have this thing about them, this will to live, you can say. And I wouldn't say Jason's is any more or any less than that. It's just different. And I might be a little biased. But he wants to help other people, which is very rare in a 7-year-old, 7-year-old. He'll say, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to tell this kid what I did, and I'm going to help him. There was one point where we were in the hospital, and there's this kid next to us, and you could just hear him screaming every single day because he had to get Lovenox shots. This is when we got diagnosed with severe heart failure, and Jason was on those shots. And he's like, man, Mom, I want to go visit that kid. Well, it's against the law, it's against HIPAA to go into someone else's room. Well, we kind of violated it a little bit, and we went in there anyway because he was determined to go and talk to this kid. And so we go in there, and he's talking to this kid, and me and the mom were talking, and I had known the mom for a little bit. This kid sad. He's not the one that was in and out of the hospital his whole life. He was in there when he was a baby, and he was out until that day. So it was new. It was fairly new for this kid. We get home. My son, at 9 o'clock at night, runs in our house, starts going through all his toys, and I'm going, kid, we got to go to bed. We got to be up in the morning to go back to the hospital. You got to stop. Mom, no. He starts throwing all of his Ninja Turtle toys in a backpack. What are you doing? He really likes Ninja Turtle toys, and I want to make his day better tomorrow. So he decided to give all of his Ninja Turtle to this kid. That's my phone. It's all right.
Click the button. I like that song.
Yeah, that's my husband. He might call right back, so do you want me just to...
Yeah, just let you text him or...
Sorry.
Okay. I'm going to have you tell me those stats again about the congenital heart stuff in a second.
Okay. So, my kid runs in the house, 9 o'clock at night. We have to be back to the hospital at 7. Starts putting all of his Ninja Turtle toys into a backpack. Tells me, I'm taking these to that kid. And I said, well, okay. The next morning we go in there. He delivers these toys to this kid, and right on time for him to get his Lovenox shot. So Jason gets his iPad and says, this is what makes it better, and coaches this kid through a poke. He's 6. And I'm going, you're 6. How is this even? And that's his spirit. He wants to take what he has to go through and help other people. He's loving, and he loves everybody. You could just see it.
Must make you proud.
I am. I'm very proud of him. And he wouldn't be the same person if he didn't go through what he's been through. So when people say, oh my God, I'm so sorry, don't be sorry. He wouldn't be that kid, and I wouldn't trade that kid for anybody.
That's huge. Thank you. Tell me, because we'd stopped rolling, tell me about the statistics around more children dying from congenital heart.
So 1 in 100 kids are born with congenital heart disease than every childhood cancer combined. Sorry, cut that, don't say that. Okay, 1 in 100 kids are born with congenital heart disease. That's over 40,000 people a year born with congenital heart disease. More kids die, about twice as many, than every childhood cancer combined from congenital heart disease.
Tell me that second half again. More kids die from congenital heart disease.
Twice as many children die a year worldwide from congenital heart disease than every childhood cancer combined.
Can I do it one more time because I had a little bit of a snag on the...
Okay.
Twice as many kids die every year from congenital heart disease than every childhood cancer combined.
Awesome. Thank you. Good? Okay. Let's see. We've gotten a ton of stuff. Let's see. Tell me when he was kind of date-wise. When was Jason diagnosed?
In utero, or?
Yeah, and sort of, kind of tell me when he was diagnosed in utero, and then when you knew you were going to have a heart transplant.
Okay. So Jason was diagnosed 20 weeks